right, welcome to IBF Talks. This is Leo. I'm going to be your host for today. I have some very, very special guests for today. And it's going to be an all-Filipino podcast. And I'm really excited for that. Let me introduce to you my guest co-host. She is an entrepreneur herself. Her name is Maria. Go ahead.
Hi guys, good morning everybody. My name is Maria and I'm very excited for today's podcast.
And our guest, he's the owner of Kabayan Brewers. He's Brandon. I'm going to let him introduce himself as well.
I'm Brandon WABE, part owner of Kabayan Brewers. Thank you for inviting me here.
Yes, we are all excited. Thank you for giving us the time for today. I know you're so busy. Even Maria, she just launched her first music video in Qatar.
Oh, thank God for the wonderful production that we had.
Exactly. You have to watch that video. Okay, coming to our talk for today. We're gonna be talking about the barriers for business, for Filipinos especially. Okay, because we noticed in Qatar, you see a lot of Filipino businesses, but the sad thing is when you check, the owners are not Filipinos.
Exactly.
Yes, you have most of that here. It's a common thing. It's really a good thing that we have an entrepreneur here with us who really owns his business and has some advocacy tied into it.
Yes.
We'll learn more about that later. But for now, let's just address the big elephant in the room. Why do you think Filipinos are afraid to venture into business? What's keeping them from doing so?
Yeah.
Maybe first is that budget.
The
of
budget.
course.
Yeah.
What else? They are afraid of starting business. Sometimes it's lack of knowledge or something. So it might be that kind of.
Yeah, from my end, I would say that it's the exposure of connections.
Okay.
I think if you're new here, and I think if you're out of, you came here as an OFW, I'm sure, and your intention is really to find a job and to work, right? But then, if you wanted to do business, but it's not really aligned on what you're doing, like me personally, I'm working at educational field, so at school, and then I wanted to do business that is not really connected to education, then it's really hard for me to establish myself. Because first and foremost, you find connections where you are connected with,
Exactly.
But if you don't have any connections to that, then that's, I think, a big factor.
Yeah.
Doing this.
So we acknowledge that first is capital. Not all of us have the capital to start a business, especially in a foreign land like this. Okay. Second is connection.
Yep.
Okay, but would there be any other ways to mitigate all these challenges? Do you see any platforms maybe in Qatar, that you can go to just to maybe find capital, find connections? In your personal experience, do you see any support group at the moment that gives that?
Personally, no. Not at the moment. Yes.
Okay.
For me, yes, no. But then maybe you can build something in yourself so you can attract some investors. There are a lot of people there who's waiting with the skilled person that can be develop some business or materialize some business.
That's good.
So I invest myself learning from coffees and something, and then now maybe there are people who are interested with me doing business with me. So
Yes.
maybe that's one way to develop or to have some business here.
All right. So what you're saying is just be best at what you do.
Yes.
Let people know that you're good at it, and
Yeah.
people will come and invest in you.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
Because after all, that's what business is all about. When you meet investors, they don't really invest in the business. They invest in the people that runs the
exactly.
business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's very important for Filipinos out there watching this. If you really want to start a business, make sure you are good at what you are going to be starting with. You're good at something that people can really see. Like in his case, he's good at coffee.
Yeah.
So people saw that, and investors just came to him
Exactly.
to offer partnerships. So
It's like Leo, you're saying that you're gonna pitch yourself.
Yes.
Exactly.
You're gonna sell your capability,
yes,
right?
yes.
Behind the business, the structure, the physical shop,
True.
Everything will follow.
Yeah.
At the end of
You're
the
right.
day, all these challenges, you think you don't have capital, you think you don't have connections, these are not barriers actually. Yes. They are in the outset, they can be barriers, but there are ways to break those barriers.
Yeah.
And that's why we're talking here about why he got started, how he got started. She's also having her own business, not in Qatar, but in the Philippines, but she got started. I have my own story as well. I hope they will ask me some questions later.
Yeah, why not?
But we'll see. We'll get to know them and their businesses. So let's get to that. What else do you have any other thing in mind about the challenges and how probably Filipinos can get through it?
No.
Yeah. So it's
I
just
think this-
really
That's
for
the
me.
most common, I think.
Yeah, for me, I think if you're going to be asking me, there are
Yeah.
platforms out there. The problem maybe with most of us is that we are not exposed to it.
Yeah.
We are not exposed to it. Because when we came here, you're correct, we just wanted to look for a job. We wanted a stable income that comes every month. All right? But there are other platforms that we can, be part of to help us get to know more people, maybe investors. And that's what happened to me actually. There's this network that I joined. And after joining that network, I met my partners. Okay, so I just went out there, I exposed myself, and then I allowed myself to, partner with people, and the business came.
Yeah. Were you not afraid of it?
At first, I was, because it's something.
Like it's
Yeah,
really a big
everyone,
leap
I
of
think-
faith, and
everyone,
everything.
I think, will be afraid
Yeah.
because, as we know, we have that mindset.
Yes.
We came here for a job, not for
Yeah, of course,
business,
yeah.
right?
Yep.
So when you think about business, it's something
It's a big
risky.
responsibility.
Yeah, it's a big
Exactly.
responsibility. So, how do you mitigate those risks? Well, I was just fortunate enough that I have a different online business when I started. So I'm getting some small revenue or profit from there. My wife is also gainfully employed here in Qatar. So that's my fallback. And we agreed that, okay, let's try something else. You go with employment, I'll go with business. And for some time, we did it. We did it like that. And in 2 years' time, we reap the harvest.
It's amazing.
So there are ways how to fight the fear and the uncertainty. We just have to really go there, get out there and start.
Yeah.
You'll never know if you don't start.
Exactly.
You don't start
Exactly.
the business or what's on your mind, then you will not know the answer.
Yes. The conversation we had, me and my wife, is this: when we grow old, when we retire, the last thing we want to think about is the regret that comes from not trying.
Yes.
Exactly. I agree with
Yeah,
that.
it's okay to fail now. At least we fail early. We have time to recover. Because one of the mindsets as well, mostly of Filipinos, is that they work, they save up, they retire, they start the business. But you know how businesses are, right?
Yes.
Sometimes it fails. Most of the time it fails.
Yes.
And then sometimes it succeeds. It'll take a lot of businesses for you, a lot of experience for you to really make something succeed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a fact. Around 80% of those who set up after 2 or 3 years will fail. Okay, that's a fact. There's numbers, there's statistics to back that. So when you start late at your retirement age, how can you still recover?
Yeah.
Right? So we have to, get out of that mindset and really start as young as we can, while we are still able to recover, while we are still able to, spring back from any uncertainty that we might face in setting up a business.
Yeah.